Hey guys, what's up? Ron Parks here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about how you can manage your money like the rich. When it comes to building wealth, it's essential to have a plan in place to preserve and grow your money. To give you an example, I'm going to have you consider the following. Who do you think is wealthier? Someone who makes $250,000 a year, spends it all, and then borrows some more on credit cards and a new car loan? Or someone who makes $60,000 a year, invests 20% of it, and remains debt-free? The person who better manages their wealth will build more of it, which is the key to maintain your wealth over the long term. We have all heard the stories of extremely wealthy people that lost all of their money. People like the rapper 50 Cent and actor Johnny Depp, who amassed fortunes by being high-income earners but ended up losing almost all, or filing for Chapter 11 protection after mismanaging their money or hiring someone that blew it for them. Today we will examine a few of the best practices employed by the rich to grow and maintain their wealth and how you can apply similar techniques in your own life to achieve the same. Here are some takeaways you should focus on if you want to manage your money like the rich. Number 1, the rich invest first and spend later. The first thing that the rich do to manage and grow their money is to ensure that their income is distributed with thought and precision. I'm sure you've heard the saying before, pay yourself first. But to be able to do that, you have to adequately allocate funds to every area that requires your attention. The term pay yourself first comes from the idea that as money comes in to your possession, you must immediately allocate it to make sure it's used in the best ways. Now, when we fail to plan, we plan to fail. I'm sure you're all familiar with stories about how people that come across inheritances, lottery prizes, or large sums of money suddenly, they squander it and let it go as quickly as it came. Because most people don't have a plan in place on how to handle their money. So what I am about to show you is how the rich distribute their money when it comes in. First, it will help you take advantage of more tax deductions and ultimately place you under a better tax bracket. And the second is it will allow you to separate your expenses from the rest of your financial needs, which can be a vital psychological step towards helping you remain disciplined when deciding what to do with your money. Once you deposit funds into your business account, the first thing you want to do is allocate a portion of that money equal to what your tax bracket is, whether it's 20%, 30%, or 40%. Let's assume now it's 25%. So this account could be a high-yielding savings account, which will help you generate some income through the year. And there are many options that vary from 0.5% to 4% annual yields. And we want to keep this very liquid because you have to make quarterly estimated tax payments. And some possibilities worth checking out are CIT Bank high-yield savings accounts and Marcus by Goldman Sachs. Because the Federal Reserve has lowered interest rates to boost the economy during the pandemic, yields are lower than in the past, and they probably will stay that way for the near term. However, it's still a great way to put money safely aside and generate some passive income while you're accumulating money to pay your taxes. The next step is using between 10 and 20% of the money and allocating that to your investment strategy. This is the part people refer to when they say pay yourself first. You see, the rich understand that money is a tool for generating more money, and ultimately their goal is to have their money working for them, not the other way around. The amount of money you invest will vary depending on your age, expenses, and your debt. But as a general rule of thumb, the more you earn, the more you want to put away. And the trade-off here is to keep your living expenses low as you grow your income and dedicate more of that income for investment purposes. So let's assume we put 20% of your income away into investments. Well, these investments could include stock portfolios, payment of income producing assets such as investment properties or real estate investment trust, or any other business idea that might form part of your investment strategy. The next thing you want to do is allocate 10% of that money to an emergency fund if you don't already have one. A recent study showed that over 50% of Americans don't have more than $500 to cover an emergency. So we have to grow this fund, equal to 6 to 12 months of your monthly expenses. Better safe than sorry. And that leaves us now with around 45% to allocate to other accounts. Now this money will be used for housing, insurance, family, entertainment, and other personal expenses. As a general rule of thumb, you want to fall within the investment bracket if you earn less than $75,000 a year. For those earning $250,000 or more, this number would be shrinking to 20%, 18%, 15%, and so on. You want to dedicate a percentage of that income to investments while also maintaining the same for your living expenses. Okay, number 2, safeguard your capital. Another essential tool that many rich leverage in managing their wealth is to ensure that their wealth can be passed on to the next generation with limited inheritance tax liabilities and sheltering assets from creditors and lawsuits. Now, trust accounts can have a great impact on you preserving your wealth, even though you'll have to hire a lawyer and it will be a little expensive to set it up. It's been studied that wealth doesn't last more than 3 generations, as it is spread out among many children and grandchildren, which ends up, dividing wealth among many family members. And every time you have a transfer of an inheritance, the federal and state governments takes a piece. Therefore, trust accounts are a great way of avoiding these added expenses and ensuring your wealth will remain in your family for generations to come. Number 3, the rich seek professional help. While it doesn't make sense for every income bracket to get professional help, many services are better led by professionals. For example, hiring a CPA to do your taxes could be well worth the money, as not only can they help you identify opportunities for tax deductions, but they can also steer you in the way to set up some beneficial accounts, such as creating an LLC or an S corporation. So estate attorneys, tax accountants, and others are among the services that the wealthy employ to help them navigate the system. Okay, number 4, the rich use wealth to create multiple income streams. Now, the wealthy understand that money is a tool, and when it's used correctly, it can help you generate more and more of it. While the poor dream of spending their money on depreciating assets, such as a new car, the wealthy buy income appreciating assets and other assets to generate cash flow. So think of it this way. Instead of leasing a car for $750 a month, why not lease a car for $250 a month and use the difference to buy high-yielding dividend-producing stock like Coca-Cola or AT&T? So after a 3-year lease period, you'll still get the same use out of the $250 a month car, but you've generated close to $20,000 in savings. And that's nearly the same amount of money that will cost you just to buy a used car. So a used car is another way to go. Get one that's 2 or 3 years old, where the depreciation has already taken place, and you'll be way ahead. Okay, number 5, the rich use debt as an asset, not a liability. There are 2 types of debt. There's bad debt, and there's good debt. The rich understand the difference between these two and leverage them. So what is the difference between the two? Well, let me give you an example. Using a credit card and incurring 15 to 28% interest costs every month is not a good way to use debt. On the other hand, taking out a loan to purchase a house at 3 or 4% is a great way to use debt. Debt could be a good thing when we use it to leverage our assets. Now, to summarize it all, if you want to manage your money like the rich, number 1, always pay yourself first and manage your expenses. Number 2, safeguard your capital. Number 3, always seek professional help. It will pay off in the long run. Number 4, create multiple income streams and buy assets that appreciate in value. And number 5, use debt as an asset, not as a liability. So I hope you take away some great ideas in order to get your finances in order, so you're working like the rich. And I'd appreciate it if you can hit the subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm and like the video, and also ring the bell so that YouTube keeps you abreast of all new videos that I post. And of course, I'd love to hear your comments below. So until next time, thanks.